back to another end phase video. Thank you so much for the reception on the Bystial Dragonlink deck profile. I really didn't expect it to do that well in the first few days, but you guys have requested some combos and I'm going to give that to you today. I have so many to go through. I'm only going to give you a few today and then we'll probably jump into a few more later down. But for now, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let's jump right into it. We're going to have a hand of 3 Triple Tactics Talent. Now this is just going to be our discard card. If you have a different card in your hand or another extender, maybe you're looking at Noctovision, maybe you're looking at Absa, Galactic Spiral Dragon, whatever it is, that'll make your hand even stronger. But for now, I'm just going to use talents as a blank card and then we can go from there. So to start off with, 5 cards in hand, we're going to start off with Lubellion. This is going to add us our Magnamut, and we are going to use that later in the turn. But for now, we will normal summon our Starliege Seifert, the heart and soul of the deck. For this one, we have a few different options from the get-go. Even with the Lubellion in our hand previously, we could have started with the Seifert and used the Seifert effect, discarding the Lubellion to search a different dragon, maybe a Spiral Dragon or a Chaos Emperor Dragon if we wanted to. It really just depends on your hand, but for now we're just going to stick to the basics and we're going to use his on-field effect, sending himself to add a level 4 dragon. And for that one we're going to add the Black Dragon. Straight away we'll special summon this one by banishing the Seifert, and we'll link this one going into our Striker Dragon. For this one specifically, I like to do Chainlink 1 Striker Dragon, Chainlink 2 Black Dragon. So Striker Dragon is going to add our Boot Sector, and then our Black Dragon is going to add our White Dragon. I just find having the Boot Sector in hand so valuable moving forward into the combo. Otherwise, we really struggle with getting our rockets on the field, unless we take a really backwards route, which is not recommended. So going forward, we will special summon our White Dragon by banishing our Black and go straight into Romulus. So Romulus is going to add us Ravine, and this is where things really start moving for the deck. So we're going to activate the Ravine and then use its effect to Foolish a Dragon, discarding our blank. As I mentioned, you can discard any other dragon here that would make your board stronger or give you more options. So for the Ravine, we're going to send our Absa, and straight away we'll trigger our Absa to add us a Rocket Tracer from deck. Brilliant. So from here, I like to do special summon Magnamut, banishing the Absa. You can definitely hold the Magnamut in your hand for the opponent's turn if you want. Maybe you want to interrupt their Tier Laments, but here we're just trying to make our board as good as possible with the 2 cards that we had in our hand at the start of the turn. So don't forget to use the on-field effect of Magnamut to search a dragon in the end phase. That's going to be really important. So we'll trigger that effect and we'll keep going with our combo. So we're going to swap out the Ravine for the Boot Sector, and this is where the board starts to become a really common state. So we're going to use the effect of Boot Sector launch to special summon our Rocket Tracer, and from here we have a few different options. We can tribute our Bystial to go into our Lubellion, and then Lubellion to grab our Branded Beast. Then we turn the Lubellion and Romulus into Heavenly Spheres if we wanted to. Just remember, we have to do that stuff before we use the effect of Rocket Tracer, because Rocket Tracer will lock us into darks from the extra deck. Otherwise, from here we can also use the effect of Rocket Tracer to destroy the Boot Sector to summon out more rockets. So you have a few different lines here, and we still have two cards in our hand. For now, I'm just going to set up a really basic board that has about 3 or 4 interruptions depending on how you see it. We're going to tribute the Bystial Magnamut to special summon our Lubellion, And then we're going to use the Lubellion effect to place our branded beast. And as I mentioned, I don't play the spell card. I don't feel like it gives me enough advantage as a single card on its own. It's really great when you pair it with other cards, but Dragon Link is all about maximizing your resources, and I don't feel like that gives me enough just by itself. So here, we're going to turn the Lubellion and the Romulus into spheres. And now we're free to use our Rocket Tracer because we no longer need to worry about being dark blocked. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to use the Tracer to target our boot sector. And we're going to pop that one to summon a rocket from our deck. And we're going to summon out Recharger. So we're going to Synchro Summon here. We're going to make Old Reliable, Borrowload Savage Dragon. And then we're going to use the on-field effect of Savage Dragon to equip a link from our graveyard. Choose the link in your graveyard with the highest attack. So if you're coming back into this combo line from maybe a crackback turn where you have other options in your graveyard, pick the higher link rating or the higher attack rating. But for now, we're going to equip the Romulus to the Savage, giving it 2 Savage counters and a boost of 600 attack. I like to keep this one in defense because it plays around Lightning Storm, whereas if you have this guy in attack and your opponent plays Lightning Storm, you're forced to use the negate on that one, whereas you would just lose the spheres or you could negate with Savage. So we're going to move towards our end of our turn. In our end phase, we'll resolve the Magnamut and we will add Jursworm. So in our opponent's turn, we have a bounce and a special summon from our deck. We have an Omni Negate. We have a Branded Beast paired with our Jursworm, which we will easily be able to summon. And when we use our Branded Beast, we're going to send the Jursworm, allowing us to send a special summon card on the opponent's side of the field to the graveyard and destroy a face-up card. So we're getting a lot of value. We're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 interrupts just from those 2 cards. Plus you have 2 extra cards in your hand. Not even considering what you're going to special summon from your deck with Heavenly Spheres. And that will be dependent on the board state. So I couldn't tell you right now what you should go for. Whether it's a Magnamut or maybe another rocket monster or whatever. Pick your poison. So I mentioned this was our common board state. So I've just rewound a little bit. We're at the point where we've banished our Absorata to summon our Bystial Magnamut, and we've got the Boot Sector Launch and Rocket Tracer in hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to destroy our Ravine to activate our Boot Sector. We're going to use the effect of Boot Sector to summon our Tracer. And at this point here, we can use the Bystial Lubellion to tribute the Magnamut, and then the Lubellion to place our Branded Beast. Don't forget we are searching in our end phase using the Magnamut, so that's where the Beast really comes into play. And then here we're going to use Tracer to link into Pisty, and then we'll use our Lubellion and our Romulus. We'll be making Triple Burst. So we've got Triple Burst here purely for the arrows. He does have a great battle phase effect, but we barely ever use that. We're going to use the effect of Guard Dragon Pisty here. We're going to special summon our Rocket Tracer back. And then we're going to use our Rocket Tracer effect. We're going to destroy our Boot Sector Launch in order to summon a rocket from our deck. We're going to summon a Recharger. Fantastic. So, here we can use Triple Burst, Tracer, and Pisty. We link into Borrel End. Now here's an interesting play we can do. We made our Borrel End, but we still haven't got our Savage play. So we're going to have to use our Borrel End to negate our Rocket Recharger in order to summon back our Tracer. We are still dark locked, so we can't make any seals as well, or any other light monster from our extra deck. So we're just going to synchro summon here. And make our Savage Dragon. And just like last time, we're going to equip the highest link/attack monster in our graveyard, which happens to be our Triple Burst Dragon. And in the end phase, we'll be searching our Swarm thanks to Magnumut. And just like that, we have an even stronger board. However, as I mentioned in the first deck profile, this one plays heavily into Super Poly since we do have 2 Darks on our field and 2 Dragons. I cannot tell you the amount of times that my opponent has set Fallen of Albaz and proceeded to Super Volley my entire board. I may have cried, I won't lie. That's really upsetting. Anyway, on their turn, we also have the Swarm to play with our Branded Beast. So we'll be using our Branded Beast to tribute the Swarm to deal with 2 cards on their side of the field. Plus we have the Borrow Land, and keep in mind, the Borrow Land negate is a permanent negate. Plus we have the Borrow Load Savage, which is an Omni negate.